WNBA Mock Draft 2025. Projecting where Paige Bueckers, Kiki Iriafen, other college stars will be picked. As teams settle into the new college basketball season, the WNBA off-season kicks up a notch with November's WNBA Draft lottery. April's draft is still months away, but there's no better time than the present to check in on the best prospects in women's college basketball. After a historic season from last year's standout rookies, the 2025 WNBA Draft class will have high expectations to live up to. That said, the class features several talented players capable of making an immediate impact during the upcoming WNBA season. UConn's Paige Bueckers is one of the most accomplished players who will enter this year's draft, but the class goes even deeper with stars across major programs. As a reminder, the first mock is largely based on projected performance from draft-eligible players this season. Additionally, only 12 of the league's 13 teams will make a first-round selection. The WNBA rescinded the Aces' first-round pick after an investigation found the organization violated league rules regarding impermissible player benefits and workplace policies. With that in mind, the Los Angeles Sparks are on the clock. For losing 2 seasons to devastating injuries, Bueckers triumphantly returned to the floor in 2023-24. As she was honored at UConn's senior night, Bueckers let the world know that she would be returning for one final season with the Huskies. Bueckers is the best draft-eligible player in college basketball. She swept National Player of the Year honors as a freshman and has only grown as a player over the past 4 years. Bueckers is a legit 6-foot backcourt player who scores efficiently, creates for others, and rebounds her position well. There are other contenders, but Bueckers feels like the surest shot at no. 1 as the season gets underway. After 3 standout seasons at Stanford, Iriafen transferred to USC to spend her final college basketball season in her hometown. She is an incredible athlete and an even better player. Iriafen averaged 19.4 points and 11.0 rebounds per game as a junior, including a 41-point outburst in the NCAA tournament. She opened this season with a 22-point, 13-rebound performance against Ole Miss and continues to develop as a player. Her face-up game from the mid-post is already pro-ready, and she appears to be extending her range. After hitting just 2 threes during her first 3 seasons, she has already hit 2 triples in her first 3 games at USC. With the duo of Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso on the blocks, Chicago's frontcourt is set for the future. A playmaking guard of Miles' caliber makes a ton of sense for the Sky as they continue to work to build a contender step by step. It helps that Chicago has another first-round pick to fully lean into a youth movement. In 2024, the Mystics ranked dead last in rebounds. They should use this pick to help address that issue. Morrow has been one of college basketball's best rebounders since day one. She averaged 13.8 rebounds per game as a freshman and turned in a 20-20 performance 3 games into her senior year. Statistically, Morrow is a poor 3-point shooter, 24.3%. But she's done so at a relatively high volume, 3.1 attempts/game. She has shown enough comfort to figure that part of her game out, giving her positional flexibility in a situation with a crowded frontcourt like Washington. If nothing else, Morrow's rebounding ability should instantly translate to the pro level. Fud is another standout who has been dealt an awful hand with devastating injuries. In 2022-23, she missed 22 games with a knee injury. After appearing in 3 games last season, she suffered a torn ACL and meniscus at practice. Connecticut is understandably taking a cautious approach to her return in 2024, but her history shouldn't overshadow her star power. Fud earned multiple National Player of the Year honors as a high school sophomore. She was a Big East all-freshman team selection and is a career 38.6% three-point shooter. The Valkyries are building something new and need star power to do it. When healthy, FUD can be a major building block for an expansion team. Washington doesn't have to go far for its next first-round selection, as Sellers has grown into stardom during her 4 seasons at the University of Maryland. As the Mystics continue to look to fill out their roster, backcourt help is a great next step. Sellers has excellent size at the guard position and a unique ability to create for herself and her teammates. She's patient with the ball in her hands and has transferable skills that will allow her to be an impactful backcourt addition. How do champions begin their title defense? By reloading and adding more talent. Amour may be small, but she is a fierce competitor and a great playmaker. After averaging 6.8 assists per game during her final season at Virginia Tech, Amour dished out 7 or more assists in each of her first 3 games at Kentucky. With Courtney Vandersloot's career winding down, maybe Sandy Brondello eyes a pass-first Aussie to come in as New York's next playmaker. It's a transformational off-season for the Fever, who look to build after snapping an 8-year postseason drought. They could seek help from down the road in South Bend, Ind. Citron has enjoyed a fruitful career at Notre Dame. She was the ACC Freshman of the Year and earned all-conference honors as a sophomore and junior. As they continue to build around Caitlin Clark, Indiana would be well-suited to add a guard who rebounds well and is a capable shooter from the perimeter. After a first-round exit in 2024, Seattle looks to run it back. With that in mind, the Storm can afford to add a developmental prospect who may not come over to the States for the 2025 season. At 18, Malonga had moments on France's national team during the Olympics, including 7 points in 8 minutes against Canada. It was with the French national team that Malonga also played alongside Storm forward Gabby Williams. Malonga's potential as a 6'6" two-way big makes this an interesting spot. This is year 5 of college basketball for Paopao. After 3 years at Oregon, she won a national championship in her first year at South Carolina and will look to finish out on top in 2025. Paopao is a career 40.9% three-point shooter, a heady playmaker, and has pre-existing chemistry with Cardoso. This aligns with the Sky's plan to continue to build the right way with skilled players. Barker is draft eligible as a junior because she turns 22 in 2025. After 2 seasons at Texas A&M, Barker is getting settled in during her first season at UCLA. The Lynx fell just a few plays shy of winning a title and will likely look to go best player available at this spot. Barker is not the typical 6'4" forward. Offensively, she can put the ball on the deck and create for herself. Defensively, she is extremely versatile. Depending on how the offseason goes, Phoenix could have a GOAT-sized void to fill. You don't fill such a void with 1 pick, but a player of Sivka's caliber is a start. The 19-year-old is 6'4" and extremely skilled. Sivka put her skills on display at the FIBA Women's U18 European Championship, but the biggest takeaway is that she can flat-out shoot the ball. That skill aligns perfectly with the vision head coach Nate Tibbetts has for the franchise.